I was at an engagement party last night in Brussels. Two young, proud Irish man and woman who met, fell in love, decided, "You're the one for me." And they got engaged there just during the weekend. And I was very happy for them. It was good fun. Uh, few friends, had a nice meal and a few drinks for others. And it was great crack. Just because Irish people on our own, having a laugh and celebrating the joy of potential, because with love and commitment and marriage and hopefully children, you have the beginnings of a rebirth. And when you think about it, that's what's happening in Ireland at this very moment, where you have the rebirth of a national consciousness on the streets of Ireland, around the country. All around the country, people are starting to stand up saying that we've had enough. We are concerned, parents, we want to stand up for protection of our children, also of our culture. And like to talk about, I put up something about the new plantation that the government which is now government policy. I put up, it's like the plantation of Ulster in the 17th century. But someone pointed out to me, no, that's not accurate, because in numbers and in percentages, the plantation of Ulster was much smaller than what we have now. When less than 23% of new PPS numbers given out in the state last year actually went to people born in Ireland, we know that the numbers are really turning against us. I'm sure the experience of many people walking out in the streets of Ireland, even in rural towns, be that in Ballybofey or in towns in Clare, they are now a minority in their own towns. And this is completely unacceptable. What is happening at the moment is a colonisation of Ireland, and it's sponsored by the Irish government. That's what makes it so damn terrible, that it's our own people who have accepted and are carrying out these policies. It's our own government which is trying to destroy the nationhood of the Irish people. And once again, it's ordinary working people who are standing up to protect their nationhood and the security of their family, because they're not afraid of a bit of name calling by the stickies of RTE and the middle class, well-to-do journalists of the Irish Times calling them names. Who cares? Who cares what West Brits say? We don't care. But I tell you what, the mammies of Ireland and the fathers of Ireland care about the future of their land and their nation, and they care about the safety of their children. Will their children be able to afford their house? Will their children be able to get a job with a wage that isn't undercut by cheap labour? But also going on at the same time, and I'm really pleased to see that people are going out, they're carrying the trickler, they're singing Ireland Navian, our national anthem, when they go out in the streets of Dublin. That what is also going on is the rebirth. I was watching there a video by a guy, Thomas Sheridan. I don't know the guy, but the video, it's actually heartening to see people who are smart, who are educated, who are talented. So many people around the country. Ireland has as I said, we used to be the land of saints and scholars, where scholarship and intelligence and argument were celebrated in our society, in our culture. And when you think of great Gaels like Padraig Pearse, he once said that not for the, I'm paraphrasing two quotes together, he said, not for the Gael, the loom or the sword, but to be the saviour of social idealism in a Europe that is falling into darkness. And that's exactly what is taking place over 100 years after those words were written. That is what we are willing into being once again when those people get out, Irrigate and Magna Casca, when they get out and get out of their homes and they go and they rally with their neighbours and friends on the streets looking for a controlled immigration policy into Ireland, what they are really seeking is a rebirth of social idealism, not only in Ireland, but it's been heard, Thomas Sheridan was saying, that they have lit a beacon of light which is being seen at the moment by the whole of Europe. All across Europe, people are watching. People are looking at Ireland for encouragement. People are looking and saying, wow, why can't we do that? Why can't we get up? Why can't we make a stand? Why can't we stand against the name calling of the political elites who call us names, who force this new plantation on our land, who are forcing a new colonization on our country. So many millions of people are looking at Ireland for hope and encouragement. And those who go out on the streets at the moment are making history. You are making history because you're standing up, you're turning up, you're standing up, and you're making history. And you're giving others across, not only across Ireland, but across the whole of Europe. You're giving them hope that this colonization of their country can be stopped. First thing we have to do is have pride in who we are as a people. I told you about what Padraig Pearse said over 100 years ago. And I was talking about last night at the engagement party. These people, proud nationalists, Irish speaking, going to bring their children up, proud of their Irish culture, know who they are, where they're from, what they believe, whom they believe in. And it wasn't, you see in 1916, always a reference to at Easter, to the resurrection, that the people who would have to suffer, but be like Christ, but be resurrected again. That goes not only for Christ and individual Christians, but also as Irish people as a nation. Now, in 1995, a guy called Thomas Cahill, he wrote a book, How the Irish Saved Civilization. And after the fall of Rome, the Roman Empire, and we had the Dark Ages, but certainly in the 9th century, where Ireland was a deeply Christian country, and learning had collapsed. The Dark Ages took over with the Roman Empire. That the Dark Ages of all the ancient learning, all the libraries were destroyed. They fell under the Visigoths and under the Huns, and Europe fell into darkness. And at that time of darkness, from the West, men from the West of Ireland, they came and brought not only the Gospels, not only Christian learning, but also the old learning of Aristotle and Plato and the Greek and Latin literature back to Europe, along with Christian theology. And it led to the rebirth of the Catholic Church across Europe and the defeat of paganism and rebirth of all these nations who literally sprang once again with the help of Irish men and women who went across Europe bringing knowledge and rebirth. And at the moment, sinks into what we're doing at the minute, is putting up a light, a beacon of light, so the whole of Europe can see it. Now, we're not doing it for Europe. We're doing it for ourselves and our children. Let's be straight up about it. But an added benefit is that many millions of people are watching and are given confidence and hope by Irish people standing up and walking on the cold streets of Dublin, North Dublin, because they're proud of their nation and they want a better future for their family, and so they can get a house, a home, and walk around in streets that are safe. And I say to you that now is the time for the Irish nation to stand up, make a stand, and make Ireland a better place for ourselves and our children. Not only one generation, but all the generations going forward. Because if Irish people become a minority in our own country, we will have no homeland to go back to. No Irish person anywhere across the world will have a homeland to call Ireland and really call it our home, the home of Irish people. And that is what we want. A sovereign, independent Ireland for the Irish people, because we're good enough to make our own laws and we're good enough to decide our own destiny and not have anything imposed upon us, either by foreign governments in Brussels or in London, by the World Economic Forum, or even by our own traitors government, those who are in there in power at the minute. And as I say, we have to replace that government. We have to replace those politicians before they replace us. My name is Hermann Kelly. I'm president of the Irish Freedom Party. When you see a rally advertised in your local area, get up and join it. And if there isn't one already, well, think about putting it up. Ireland says no. Ireland is full. If there's not a rally in your area, well, think of starting one yourself. My name is Hermann Kelly. Go to Magan.